So we're going to make a bit of juice. We've got kale, dandelion leaves, black kale, celery, beets, yellow carrots, cucumber, fennel root, apple, got some ginger over here, nice bit of ginger. Really, you can put anything in a juice, and what's great to do is just play with whatever one is available and fresh and good and organic if possible and locally grown if possible, and then what you like. So this can be quite a strong juice, but the apple then just lifts the whole flavour and it gets really tasty. I'm using a Green Star juicer. This is a dual gear, so this masticates the juice, it crushes it, and by doing that it's a slow process of juicing. And it doesn't overheat the vegetables as they're being juiced, so it keeps a lot of the more delicate enzymes available and alive, which means then that they get absorbed more easily when you ingest them. So I'm going to stick these guys in. Take that out. And then it all falls apart, which is really handy. Stick it in again. We can of course edit these bits out. We have the technology. So this juicer and juicing with this juicer, I won't say it's complicated, but there's a little bit of work to it. There's a little bit of cleaning to it, putting it together. It's not that easy, so it does put people off at times, but there are a lot of juicers out now that do the same job and they do them for a lot cheaper, and they're also they're a lot handier to use. So I would encourage you to get one of these as opposed to something that, you know, creates friction and heat. So the cogs are metal. When the vegetables hit the metal, they oxidize and it creates a foaming. And what we want to do is keep it juiced and not foam, keep it liquid, not foam. So as I turn it on, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil, and it just coats the metal cogs. So when the vegetables hit, they stay liquid. I'm going to throw in some celery first. Now most of these vegetables I managed to get locally at a market. McNally family, who grow on the north side of Dublin, and their stuff is great. They do great leaves and beets and whatever's in season really. And now this dandelion. Dandelion is known as a bitter herb. These are particularly good for the intestinal system, particularly good for feeding and cleaning and nurturing the internal system. We don't realise how much we're affected by what goes into our body and the state of our internal system, our digestive system and intestines. And the more alkaline you can make your system, the easier it is for your body to get on with doing what it needs to do and being in the world. If you're dealing with an acidic system, the body's continually trying to bring itself back into balance and wasting energy in doing that. So it is important to try to get as much good stuff into your system as regularly as you can. And look, like anything, it's just about building a habit. You can build a habit, and then it's water off the duck's back, then it's easy. But again, like anything, you're beginning, you know, it's difficult in the beginning to build up to something that's regular and that doesn't take too much effort and is handy and you can fit it into your life. Because of course, if you can't fit it in, there's no point in doing it. Now I'm going to take a big piece of this ginger and hopefully it'll go down. And some of the fennel root, you need to chop it a little bit more. Fennel adds a great taste, it's a great flavour to it. And other kind of stuff you could get into using would be wheatgrass. Wheatgrass is great. The most complete form of food that grows above sea level. There you go, there's an interesting tip for you. The harder vegetables are generally easier to juice. The softer ones, you might need to use a slightly different strainer inside the machine for fruit, for softer stuff, because it gets kind of pulpy. I love kale. Kale's one of my favourites. I try to juice kale, if not every day, close to it. And spinach is great. Getting those dark greens into your system is really important. And of course, there are the arguments about, you know, juicing versus getting the whole vegetable in. And you know, I think you should be getting both in. I think when you juice, your body just gets to absorb all that goodness without having to work for it. And of course, at times your body also needs the roughage. It needs to do the work. It's part of the system. You know, our internal system needs to move in the same way that our body needs to move. That's just the way life works. Movement is crucial. Movement is part of how things clean and clear themselves and come back into balance. Nearly there. This will do for now. So you can see all of that is coming out now. This pulp that's coming out, you can throw it away. You can make a juice out of it, or excuse me, you can make a soup or a stew out of it. You can put it into a stock, into a soup or stew. You could make patties out of it. You can make vegetable burgers out of it. You could add, you know, binding agent, an egg or something, and some onion and some flavouring, some seasoning. You're cool. Okay, I'll turn this guy off, and then we'll have a look at what's left. So I use a strainer because, again, you can even see here. I'll bring it a little closer. There's a, you know, you get a bit of leftover, kind of foaming that you don't really want to drink. That's Mr. Jack Harrison playing in the background. All right, Jack? And then here we go. I'll actually tilt the camera a little so you get to see into that. Look at that. So your body, our bodies are designed to get this stuff into them regularly. This stuff is powerful in terms of healing the body and bringing it back into an alkaline, healthy state of being. It's so important what we eat. You know, so often we go out, you know, with issues, and we've heard it again and again and again. It's like this kind of idea of popping pills, and you know, if you get good stuff into you, your body's going to begin to work in the way it's designed to work, and all of our bodies are designed to be healthy. Might be a relative experience for all of us, but you know, we're designed to be here to feel ease in our bodies, to feel ease in the internal systems. And if we support this process, if we recognize that there is a deep order to the way this stuff works, and we begin to work with it, then we're moving toward freedom. So, cheers. Woo! There's a kick. There's a lot of ginger in there. It's delicious. The apple just softens the whole thing. It takes up the flavour a little, so it makes it kind of sweet. But it's great. If you begin to get into this and you build that habit, I guarantee you, it doesn't take long before your body really begins to respond to this stuff. And it really just kind of keeps the whole thing working well. Thanks for joining me. If you like it, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube page, and I'll keep them coming.